Want more Marvel? Digging DC? Looking for the latest in nerd news? We got it all and more. This is
Distant Nerding.
We're talking about anything pop culture, movies, music, food, wrestling, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. The Distance Nerding podcast celebrates all things you nerd out on. More nerd news, less nerd negativity. Each week, join Young Phil and John Mez 5000 as they discuss what's new in the nerd world and get your voice heard in the Facebook group, The Distance Nerdington Post. Grab some tacos, hold on to your butts, and strap in for the ride. You are now listening to Distance Nerding.
Hey!
So I guess we managed.
You kind of lost Ark this week?
I thought we kind of like locked him in a trunk or something, or the closet.
They're not supposed to know this.
Oh, that's right. No. He's on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation, guys. We definitely didn't lock him in the closet so we could have free reign this week.
Yeah.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, vacation.
Vacation.
He might be back. We might let him out next week. Oh wait, no. Sorry.
Oh,
he's commenting.
Oh, wait, did you give him a phone? I didn't give him a phone.
I didn't give him a phone. I thought I took it away from him. Yeah.
I thought we did too. Does he have a second phone we don't know about?
That's he does it to us. It's only fair.
Yeah, it's only fair. You gotta make fun of him.
Hello, Melinda. Thank you for joining us on Saber Rattle.
Hello.
We've kind of taken over this week.
Yes, finally, we get our own week. For the love of God, please let me out. Oh my God.
Anyway,
it's gonna be a good episode.
Don't mind the screaming in the background. So, actually, on to Star Wars news before we get into it. Did you hear about Boba Fett?
No. Well, what's going on with Boba Fett?
What they did to Boba Fett's ship?
Oh, yes. Yes, they renamed it.
Yeah. It's the fire spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Melinda, he's on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation. He's fine.
Yeah.
Just
no,
don't mind the screams coming from here.
Be sure to let some air in once in a while. Anyway.
Cracks.
And then we also have what was it? Are you a comic book fan, Ezra, at all?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Apparently there's also going to be a series with Kira, Han's old flame.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
Vacation. Definitely on vacation.
Oh my gosh. He's going to beg to be let out the whole episode, isn't he? Anyway, Han's Old Flame is getting a series. No, you not until you behave. Han's Old I can't. Han's Old Flame is getting a series called The Crimson Reign. And apparently it will show her rise to power. I'm not entirely clear what time frame that is. It looks like it's around Return of the Jedi. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we did.
No, I didn't. Did you?
I don't know.
We can hear the tummy rumbling from in here, Art.
Yeah,
you don't need to put it in the comments.
We'll leave you some food later.
Yeah, I'll leave the cave and I'll put out a plate of chicken nuggets. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think that we have a surprise guest this week. I'm trying to find the message. That is okay. I'm really, really bad at that.
Our flow for the show?
Our flow for the show. And I'm trying to find the new name. It is a new flow. Come on. That's such a rookie move, guys. Yeah, no. we definitely, yeah. I mean, we're taking over here. I didn't say that it was a really planned out takeover here.
We just kind of were like, you know what? We're gonna take over this week. Get in there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So otherwise, yeah, we're, you know, he'll be fine, guys. He's fine. We have a surprise guest this week. You guys all know our Darth Cephalus, our producer. Yep. Hi, Tony. You guys all know our no, not Afghanistan pun detected. Did we?
What?
I don't know. He's fine.
Oh, but he's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine. Real quick before we get into the whole flow thing, I know I put on this last week, and also we did the week before. Our friends at Rebel Cause Lancaster. I'm going to say this every time until they get enough money just to get back up and going. Please help them out. They are a wonderful organization. They help out. What was the number they helped out last year? 400?
400? Yeah.
Yeah. 400 people they helped out with getting warm clothes, blankets, food, having a bed to sleep on at night instead of sleeping on the cement outside. They're a really nice organization. Please go help them out. Donate anything you can. If it's a penny, if it's $1, anything helps.
Anything, incredibly. These people are the living Jedi. We've had them on the show too. In fact, some of my early days here with Saber Rattle. Yeah. I think that was my second episode, something like that.
They're just go ahead.
Incredibly kind-hearted people that do everything for anyone, and anyone, like Ark always says, anyone is a paycheck away from being, yes, Ark, we see you. No, that's not why we revolted.
No.
Yeah,
no, definitely not.
We'll start the negotiations later to be let out, and then maybe a pay raise, and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
400 people, that's exactly it.
Shelter.
Yeah, living Jedi, as Kevin says. They actually base it off of the actual Jedi cause of the rebels, which is Kanan and Ezra, which is incredibly kind, and that they try and do that. I think it's time to get to the flow for the show. Sorry.
My flow? All right.
The flow. So we have Tynan. Darth Tynan, who is our surprise guest. Many of you know James Kaiser or Darth Cephalus, and this is his apprentice, youngling. Is that what you call a Sith? Is it still a youngling? Small Sith?
I think. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Someone will correct us. Someone will yell at us. We'll be fine.
Yeah, what's a tiny Sith called?
Sith minion? Scythian?
Sith minion? Scythian? Scythian?
Sith acolyte. Sith acolyte.
Sith acolyte. Okay. Sith acolyte. So this is Darth Cephalus's Sith acolyte. Let's roll.
Do you have it? Oh, I thought you had it. I got it.
That is incredibly adorable.
He's adorable. I love that.
Love it. We will watch your career with great interest.
Much interest.
Much interest.
Very much interest. Especially for the Siths.
The Siths, yeah.
The Jedis can go. We don't care about them.
We can still save you. We'll still save you. We
No.
can join the light side.
No. You know why? Because last time you guys had younglings, Anakin got to them.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Our guest is backstage going, yeah. Yeah, people are wondering, should I be concerned? No, he's fine. We give him food. It's okay.
We give him little fish flakes. He's fine.
we feed him blue milk.
Oh, I love this show already.
This is what he and I are like when nobody's looking. Anyway,
yes, it is.
So
should we put on our main guest, or should we do
this is
our special?
Oh, if you have one, bring it up.
All right.
I get no respect around here. No.
No, he does not. So, this week I decided to bring back our What's Taken. You guys excited?
I haven't seen this. I'm scared.
All right, let's hit it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. In my experience, there's no such thing as luck. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. Long time.
I will take the child and watch over him.
To Tatooine, to his family, send him.
I think my uncle knows him. He said he was dead.
Oh, he's not dead. Not yet.
You know him?
Well, of course I know him.
Hello there.
He's me. Obi-Wan. I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your
I
father.
have trained you since you were a small
He
boy.
was the best star pilot in the galaxy.
I have taught you everything I know.
Cunning warrior.
And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be. Another happy landing.
And he was a good friend.
Obi-Wan is ready.
I am ready to face the trials.
His head.
He's getting all excited about the CNC machines. See, you made him happy.
See, I'm not a bad office manager. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, the reason I picked this for this week is, as many of you guys know, we are getting into machining. So we have, I forgot the machine's name back there, but we have, what do we have back there, Don?
We have a Haas SL10, which is a CNC lathe,
We have a CNC lathe,
and then we have a Bridgeport CNC mill.
and we have a CNC mill. I'm not saying everything else.
I think he's calling you names now.
No, my title is Shop Monkey, and I have a theme song too, according to these guys.
Oh boy. All right. Before that gets too deep, we're going to bring on our guest. You have actually, what's a CNC mill? You want to explain it real quick before we bring him on?
Don, you want to explain what a CNC mill is to these guys?
It's like a mill, but it does CNC stuff.
It's like a mill, but it does CNC stuff. That's what Don said.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to be learning it soon. That's all I know.
Pretty much what you just saw there, that's what it does. It does a lot of grinding into harder materials like metal.
It's a giant drill press that works on 4 axes,
It's a giant drill press that works on 4 axes.
but it's controlled by a computer that does specified movements.
But it's controlled by a computer that does specified movements. Yes. Mean. You know what? All right, guys, we're running a bit late.
We're gonna go. Yeah. Yes. So we're gonna get to our guest here. Please welcome our guest, who is an instructor and a Jedi. Welcome, Pola Pop.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi. We're good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm a little tired. We had class tonight. We have class every Friday from 5 to 8 and here in Aiken, South Carolina. So I go and instruct people of all ages, really, from kids to adults. I have just a couple things to add to your previous conversations. Fire Spray, the name of the ship, is the original name from the Kuwait shipyards. It was the code name of the ship before Jango Fett named it Slave. And then the comic books with Han Solo's old flame coming back, she's just going to be in there to give them directions, pretty much. Hey, Van.
He's very upset that we locked him in the closet for this interview. So you said, so I'm guessing that you're a comic book fan as well?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. That's you know, that's a big part of my life is living the Jedi code that I learned from Star Wars. I mean, any Jedi realist out there that tells you they don't like Star Wars or they don't get anything from Star Wars, they're lying. But a lot of what I do is to emulate the Jedi from the movies, how they're compassionate and they try to help people. So that's what I try to do. I try to do it in my own community, offline.
So you've loved Star Wars your whole life. When did you really fall in love with Star Wars?
I think it's always been around. My older cousins were nerds as well, like me. So as far back as I can remember, it was like every once in a while it was always on in the house or in my cousin's house or in somebody's house. It was always on. I really didn't get into like the Jedi realist path until I became an adult and researched. Like, I had seen a show with somebody who claimed to be a real live Jedi. I think it was like a talk show or something, like a daytime talk. It was a daytime talk show. It wasn't a very flattering show for the person. They were kind of making fun of him, but the things he was saying from the Jedi Code were just logical things that could help anybody. You know, it doesn't. If it was called something else, I'd still do it. You know, it doesn't. It's just because we took the name Jedi and put that label on it, you know, doesn't lessen to me how meaningful it can be to some people. And I've seen it. I've witnessed it myself, how meaningful and helpful it can be. This path of basically just selfless compassion or trying selfless compassion. It's very difficult. It's not always easy to be selfless, and I don't always succeed.
And is that why you? Because I know some people are like, I'm a Red Blade, I'm a Jedi. Is that sort of why you chose Jedi?
This is like the toughest question for any Jedi realist out there. Why did you choose this? And to be honest, and if I think every one of them that I can think of will agree with me. There's a lot of us in the community that do this for selfish reasons because it makes us feel good. Because it makes us feel like we are giving back to our communities or we're doing something. Even if some of us don't claim a higher power, the higher power can be just your selfless acts for others. You know what I mean? So it's a selfish thing. You know, we do it so that some of us deal with a lot of depression. Some of us deal with anxiety, and doing things for your community, volunteering in any way you can is always a good remedy for the blues.
I like that answer. What would you say is your first real memory? Because I remember my very first memory of Star Wars was someone's muting my mic. Sorry, can you still hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Sorry, we're having a little technical issues. What was your first memory? Because I remember my first memory was seeing Luke talking to Vader. And I was just like, whoa, what is that? Dark, cool looking guy, and they were fighting with lightsabers. What was kind of your first impression?
So when the movies were re-released in the 90s, the original trilogy, my grandma took me and my older cousin to the movie theaters, and we saw every one of them. I think we saw it multiple times. I don't remember. I was very young, but the number one thing that always stuck out to me was uh, Yoda training Luke in the swamp,
Oh.
where he hops on his back and they have like a nice little jaunty run around the swamp.
Luke's 10-second training.
Yeah, montage.
Yeah.
The training montage. Yep, that's my first memory.
Oh, that is cool. So, choosing to be a Jedi professionally now, how did you get into something like that?
So about 10 years ago, I was a lot of this has to do with meeting people on Facebook. Okay, so I had befriended somebody that was posting philosophical quotes or something like that, and we got to talking, just discussing philosophy, and he invited me to the main Facebook group for the Jedi Church, which now has over like 13,000 members in the group, which I moderate for. If I created Simply Jedi as a pretty successful Facebook group, which is a kind of a coffee house. So we call them coffee houses because it's where all kinds of people can meet and discuss things. And I moderate or admin for a few other groups. But he invited me into the Jedi Church, and I just kind of did my own research from there. The Jedi path contains philosophies from all kinds of different, what we call the real world Jedi path or Jedi realism. There's a few different names for it, but it contains philosophies from a lot of different religions. It contains philosophies from a bunch of different classic literature, modern literature, anything that is usually logical. We try and incorporate anything that's helpful that we can use to help our friends or help regular people or other Jedi. We try and incorporate into our path. I chose. There's a lot of people out there that talk about. That's how Van found me. I think I invited him to my group, Simply Jedi. That's what he just commented. If you guys didn't see that, I was saying that. Oh, I chose the light side because I dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety my whole life. I've been on various different remedy paths, whether it's medical or whether it's just therapeutic or whatever. And the biggest thing that has helped me is reaching out within this community of other Jedi and learning from them, or maybe some of them direct me to an actual professional, because the number one thing we're not going to do is tell somebody we can help them if they need professional help. There's a lot of people that come to us that ask for advice, especially on life, difficult life things, various life things. And we'll send you to a professional real quick if it's not something that we can handle, because we're not professionals. We are not psychotherapists by any means. We have learned a few self-help tricks at best. Like I said before, the path that we're on is one of selfishness. So because we're trying to feel better about ourselves, trying to build our communities up offline communities or online. That's another point I want to bring up, online and offline Jedi, in a minute. But the biggest, I think, trying not to say but I'm trying not to pause, and it helps if I
No, it's not a problem.
it helps if I talk things out. Oh, there's our logo. That logo is actually made by Dees Cassius. He's a local artist in Evans, I believe Evans, Georgia. It's right outside of Augusta, Georgia, which is very famous for Masters golf tournament. He's done a few. He did the logo. He did a caricature of me and a caricature of Commander Negron, Tony Negron, Mine is the Knight of the Realm, and the Commander's is Commander 29. There it is.
Oh wow.
And yeah, Dees Cassius did that. That's me, and that's my lightsaber. I choose white. You talked about colors a minute ago. I choose white for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm colorblind.
Oh.
So it's like it's just a base color. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I'm an electrician also of 20 years. This year, I've been an electrician 20 years. And white LEDs pull a true 3.7 volts from a lithium-ion 18650 battery, which is the standard that we use. Flow artists use that battery. Saber combat guys use that battery. Everybody uses that battery. So white is like the purest. It pulls more true than other colors because other colors pull at different voltages. So that battery runs at 3.7 volts and white pulls 3.7 volts. So that battery will last with a white LED for twice as long. There it is. That thing's bright too. That's from Key Sabers. That's the Persuader, I believe. I named mine Lil Bo Peep. And
Lil Bo Peep. Is there a reason?
I posted online, so I'm through Aiken Saber Academy and just through my own sense of humor, I've become a sort of a meme lord. I make a lot of my own memes, and I have quite a personality on Facebook. My real name's Trey. Pola Pop is a character I made, so let me go through that first before I tell you the other thing.
Okay.
Pola Pop is from the Circle K drink Polar Pop, right? So I thought that would be a cool rap name, like a stage rap name. I just thought it was funny. Kind of in the same vein as like Lil Windex or there I can't think of any other ones. Just a trap rap name. So you take the R off and it's Pola Pop. Pola also can mean cool, like polar cool. Yeah. And pop can also mean dad. And I'm a father of 4, so it means cool dad. And I thought that was clever.
That is clever.
So through that character that I created, I've garnered quite the humorous following, and I make a lot of original memes and stuff like that. What was the question? Where was I going?
I think it was just there's not really a question there. It was just how did you I think the original question was how did you go from like a Facebook group? Because
gotcha.
A lot of people have a Facebook group, but how do you go from Facebook to teaching and passing on your knowledge?
So we existed outside of Facebook before we ever existed on Facebook. I met Commander Negron in 2006. I was my senior year of high school, my 4th year of ROTC, and it was his first year of teaching at Aiken High. He was the ROTC instructor. He had taught for years previous in Chicago, I believe, but 2006 was his first year in Aiken High. He went on to teach many more years, but I graduated. We kept in touch, and then about 3 years ago, we both heard of what the French were doing. They have a national fencing league, lightsaber fencing league. Like it's a national sport, like the NFL and the NBA are national sports here. It's a national sport there, which is awesome. So we thought that was the coolest thing ever. So we got together. We bought some Ultra Sabers. We bought some Ultra Sabers, and we bought those like mechanic gloves that have the hard knuckles on them. Those don't. They didn't do nothing. Like it was like we weren't wearing anything. We didn't have any idea what we were doing. We just knew that it was cool. And so we built on that premise, right? We noticed in our town, when I was younger in this town, there was a lot of things for nerds to do. And there was a lot of things for kids to do in general. But now there's really not. Most of the bookstores have closed down. Most of the comic book stores closed down. There was a few different video game stores. They've closed down. So we thought, what better way to get teenage boys and girls and people of all ages out than put a lightsaber in their hands and teach real fencing. And I know I'm probably going to receive a little bit of backlash for what I'm about to say next, but the Star Wars forums are fiction. And the people that wrote them don't know anything about fencing or fighting with a weapon. Because if you notice if you look up the forums on the internet, they're straight on to each other.
Yeah.
They don't take into account 360-degree movement. And what happens when one of the opponents on those little forums gets into trouble and doesn't know what to do? He uses the force, and we can't do that. So we based our forums mainly off of a lot of different.
I'm glad someone finally said that. Oh, I think you froze.
Okay,
You
there
still
we
with
go.
us?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. I'm glad finally someone said that, because I often watch, Anakin. I mean, I don't know if you've watched Rebels. I've watched Anakin doing the thing. Forms are fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fighting, you need a lot more than that. Yeah.
So there's more to fighting than just the kata. So we have our own forms, right? In our class, there's forms for each rank, and our ranking system goes from just initiate walking in the door to apprentice to knight to cavalier to paladin to master to grandmaster. And each one of those incorporates forms. Each one of those incorporates the movement around your opponent and incorporates one-handed, two-handed movement depending on the rank. So we wanted to do a more real-world approach to where any of our students that comes through our school can then go on to any other weapons fighting martial arts school and have a taste of it. They'll already have their, a little bit of experience with a bunch of different weapons. They'll already have experience in a martial arts class setting, as well as, being a team or working together and how it is to learn in a class setting. That's I wear a no, we don't necessarily. When you pass rank, you get a patch, and those patches are we got custom made from a supplier online, and it has your rank on there and it has our logo on there. And the patch you can do anything with, and most of our students put it on their fencing armor. I think somebody put it on their jacket. But yeah, each rank you get a patch. You also get a certificate of rank that we print out and make it real nice for you. And yeah, it makes it really nice.
What are these patches? Are they color coded or?
They are. They are. Depending on the rank, it's pretty much all of them have the same logo, but it'll say on there what your rank is. It'll say initiate, apprentice. I should have grabbed them so I could show you, but I don't want to go rifling off camera right now and waste your time. I could have showed you.
So you talked a little bit earlier about online Jedi and offline Jedi. Did you want to talk a little more about that?
Sure. There's a lot of people out there that talk junk about the online Jedi community, that they only sit on keyboards and don't do anything. Well, did you ever think that all they can do is sit on a keyboard? Like, the only thing I ask of anybody that claims the Jedi name is that you don't hurt yourself or others. If what you're doing is online, and you are doing good, doing things compassionately, sharing knowledge. If you're doing that, then every time you choose to do that, then at that moment you're a Jedi. Every time you choose not to, you're not a Jedi. It's that simple. It's not anything complicated, and it's not anything that needs to be put up on a pedestal. A lot of these guys that and there's nothing wrong with this when I say this, that claim masterhood, only do that because of an intellectual immaturity to say that, well, I don't know everything I need to know. Let me learn it from you. That's all we really do is learn from each other. And we learn from people who aren't Jedi more than we learn from other Jedi. And that's, I think, my biggest complaint with the Jedi community is that a lot of the Jedi out there are worrying about each other, when the job of a Jedi is not to worry about other Jedi, is to go out into your community and help citizens of the Republic, or whatever, however you want to phrase it. However you want to phrase it. It's not just go and help in any way you see fit, in any way possible. If all you can do is online, then great. That's awesome. If that's what you can do, then do it. I get very frustrated with how many argumentative people there are about what it means to be a Jedi. And the answer to that is, what do you think it means to be a Jedi? That's the answer.
There's
What do you think it means
many.
to be a Jedi? Yeah,
There's many types.
Right. And like, I see a lot of hatred for the gray Jedi community. That came out of rebellion for people saying that there's only this way to be a Jedi. You have to do this, and if you don't do that, then you're not a Jedi. Well, there are a certain core tenets that we follow. We follow the Skywalker code, or we follow the Yet code, or we follow there is no code. Like drawing a blank right now. I could.
Is that the tenet that your school follows? That there's different types of Jedi?
No, in our school, at Aiken Saber Academy, we don't teach Jediism. I'm the only Jedi there. The only thing we teach is fencing. So that's right. Time for a tournament to put skills to the test. Test number 1, be friendly. That's exactly right. So in Simply Jedi, I made my page, my rules for the page, 2 guidelines. Be polite, be kind and courteous, and follow acceptable debate etiquette. And that can be said of life. But in Aiken Saber Academy, we only teach fencing. But more than that, we teach a set of ethics. I call them ethics or morals. It's kind of a code of conduct. It's called Kadi. It's courage, awareness, determination, and integrity. Okay, and each one of those we ask our students to exemplify in class and out of class. So you could say that we teach just a little smidgen of Jediism, a little tiny bit. But I think that something like that is taught in most martial arts schools. Some code of conduct, some code of morals, something like that you'll find is taught in most schools like ours.
Just for fun, where do you side with the gray Jedi and the different type of Jedi and the?
So I actually admin and moderate for a few different gray Jedi groups. So I will tell you guys, I'll define gray Jedi for you. And this is my definition, because gray Jedi is a fan fiction thing. So there's a lot of different definitions.
Your headcanon.
Yeah. Headcanon. That's right. So to me, a gray Jedi is a regular Jedi who's learned everything a Jedi has to learn, but they don't hold to a council. They don't hold to they operate as lone wolves, and they do as they see fit, pretty much. And sometimes they incorporate a bit of selfishness into their code. Some of them focus more on stoicism. That's a better word, not selfishness. Yeah. Stoicism. That is more indicative of the gray Jedi path than like a light side Jedi is what I choose, because it makes me feel really good to bring the light out in other people. When I can see my students grasp a concept, or so I do a little trick. And if there's any of my students watching, I'm sorry, but the first time I ever fought you, I let you win, because I like to see how they win. The Gray Jedi is the Texas of the galaxy. That's great. Yeah, I like to see how my students take winning. Do you know what I mean by that? How a winner or a loser they are. I should have already done this, but let me grab my charger really quick, okay?
Oh, sorry. Okay. We'll temporarily be back. I think there's a little bit of a pause for a moment. Hello, Ezra.
Heyo. How are you?
Just while he's I think his battery's dying. That's actually some really interesting information because I've always thought about the Grey Jedi just being sort of like, kind of like Din is in The Mandalorian. He really does this. I do the opposite. Yes. It's funny, Tony, I was actually thinking that like you two are very polar opposites in the way you talk about the approaching it, which is very interesting. And it's very cool to see. Oh, I think he's back.
Yep.
Red
There
blades
we
for
go.
life.
No.
Had to grab a.
Yes.
Had to grab a.
This is what we do to Red Blades. Anyway, sorry.
So yeah, Tony's more. I would describe him as more of a gray Jedi. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
he's very stoic. He's an old Navy man. You know what I mean? He's a retired naval commander and ROTC teacher of tenure. So he's more the bulldog of the class, and he's more the granddad of the class, and I'm more the dad there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More loving and nurturing. Not that he's not loving and nurturing, he is, but he's also more aggressive and more technical, more tactile, stuff like that. He's the one that came up with all the kata, the forms. I learned them from him and teach them. I've only been doing martial arts for maybe a couple years, and well, since we've done this is when I started. I'm by no means a martial arts expert. I'm learning along with my students, but the one thing that I brought to the table was leadership. Like I was an ROTC, and I've led a lot of different Jedi groups and various things offline. I do a lot of things offline too. Like I said, I'm a father of 4. I'm a full-time electrician, so it takes up a lot of my time.
And you kind of talked about how that plays into even, which I absolutely love this because they talk about how your personality or who you are, or some aspect of your life. I am as loving as an old person. That's not true, Tony. You are just so lovable.
He's lovable.
We love you, Commander.
Yeah, we love you, Commander. That's funny. It's funny that you call him Commander because I always think of Commander Rex every time I talk about him. It's so funny because they talk about how your lightsaber always has sort of an aspect of your who you are. Mm-hmm. I mine's behind me right now, but mine's very just bumpy and very big because I like to swing.
Yeah. I do flow art as well. I'm not as good as some of the other guys that you've had on here. Like Grady McGee is a good friend of mine. A few of the other guys, I'm drawing blanks right now. I've met. There's a few on that I would suggest to you as well if you like that would
Please,
love to be
definitely.
on the show. But yeah, I do it the flow art as well. But I would be like that would be one thing I would love to get much more into one day when all my children are 8 and under. So I kind of work all day, come home, take care of them. And then Fridays I make time for Aiken Saber Academy. But we meet every Friday, so we make time for it. And sometimes I meet with other students during the week to go over things, maybe choreography, stuff like that.
I'm getting ribbed. He says mine's 3 colors. I have a yellow, red, and green.
I use white and green.
Red blades.
I use white and green because in my I guess I don't know what else to call it. My brand of Jediism is more of a follower of Luke Skywalker, so I kind of choose the green because I follow I teach I have one Jedi apprentice and she lives in Canada. They live in Canada. Excuse me, get their pronouns right. They live in Canada. They live on a farm, and they are one of the best musicians I've ever heard. I'm going to get them to be on the show too one day as well, if they'll do it.
We need a theme song, so
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
tell them about it.
No theme songs. They'll make me a Shout Monkey theme song. I don't want that.
But yeah, so you do distance teaching too then?
So the role of a Jedi apprentice in the real world is more to observe. So every once in a while, there will be certain things that will come up that I want to teach, and I do. But most of the time, they're supposed to observe how I interact with various people online because of the various groups I admin for and the various groups I moderate for are mostly teaching like positions. So when you get asked to moderate or admin for a Jedi group, you kind of understand that it's going to be a lot of answering questions. And in that is where a lot of the teaching comes from, answering the questions. So depending on how you word answering your questions and depending on how you interact with those people, depend on how successful you'd become within the online Jedi community. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've always had kind of a gift for gab. So I was always phrasing things so compassionately and so helpfully, whereas other people who, bless them, they were trying to do the same thing I was, or do, but they might not have the vernacular that I do, or they might not have I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it is that I have that they don't. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that that's how I got to the position I am in the Jedi community by just talking to people who needed talking to. I was good at finding people who were traditionally unreachable and just talking it out with them and saying like what's going on? What do you need? What do you want to? Not even asking what they want to talk about. Just I can't think of an example. I would just come to them and start talking, like start in the middle of a conversation with them and with somebody, and you'd be surprised how quickly they just forget about their own problems and join in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like it could be you're in with somebody you can tell is a little depressed in one of your groups that you're adminning for. It could be that you both interacted with the same post. That's your in. So an example would be you just message that person saying, I noticed that you haven't been interacting with things lately. How are you doing? And that's what my apprentice would observe me doing, in other words. So
Jedi mindfulness.
Mindfulness, right.
Yeah.
They would observe, and a lot of the time it's up to the apprentice to come with me with anything they want to learn as well. And since I feel like I have a good amount of intellectual maturity, I will always defer to somebody who knows more than me. So I will tell my apprentice, I don't know necessarily all I need to know about that subject, but I do know somebody who does know, and I'll send them that way. Something like that. Yes, being a real C-3PO, that's part of it too. Being a droid of communication. You have to have very good interpersonal communication skills. You have to not be afraid to talk in front of any amount of people and say anything. Like I told, we got asked to go to a Confederate War Museum and do like a weapons display, like our lightsabers and stuff. It was kind of like past versus future. You know what I mean? So we went there, and I told a bunch of Confederate people that I was a Jedi minister, an ordained Jedi minister, and they were much more accepting than I thought they would be. Let's put it that way.
I love that.
That also, I got ordained as a Jedi Knight, and a few years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, I talked to a few. There's various orders around the country, Jedi orders. They have their own curriculums, like teaching curriculums that teach you various philosophies and stuff like that, including Jedi tenets and stuff. Fluent 6 million forms of butt kicking. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a Jedi.
And I like to tell people that Jedi are not pacifists, so it very much is within our job description to teach defense. So it's something. It's one of the most positive things I've been able to do with my life is give back to the community. And you can see it in the pictures that we share of our kids. You know what I mean? They're alive. They're, you know, I love it.
It's interesting too, because I don't know, have you watched Rebels?
Yeah, I watched most of it. Yeah. I think there was a few episodes I missed, but I watched most of it.
It's interesting to hear you talk because, you watch Kanan struggle with being a teacher, which they sort of glaze over that for the rest of the Luke being a teacher and Obi-Wan being a teacher. But kind of, it's interesting to hear you talk about that because it kind of reminds me of hearing Kanan struggle with, the mindfulness and the how he's going to approach it kind of thing.
If you think about Luke Skywalker, he had no previous knowledge of the Jedi Order when I'm talking about Legends continuity now, but when he went to the Praxium on Yavin 4, he had no knowledge. And he came up with his Jedi tenets with no knowledge of any Jedi codes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one reason that I follow that specific code, the Skywalker code, is because he came up with it because it felt right. It just felt right.
Didn't he have a little bit of communication though from Force ghosting and I can't remember.
Yeah, he had some communication, but they never told him what the Jedi code was. Mm-hmm. Like the Old Republic had its own, the Jedi Order of them. They had there was the Yet code, the death yet the Force and emotion yet peace and stuff like that. And then Odon came along and interpreted as there is no death, there is the Force. And then after the Clone Wars, that's when Luke came up with his Jedi tenets. But yeah, he was taught by Jedi of the Old Republic, but they never taught him the Jedi code. It was really weird. And Luke failed his Jedi training. I don't know if y'all remember that, but Yoda said, "You failed. That's why you failed." Yeah. So, and then he went on to become the most powerful Jedi that ever lived. Just if you ever feel down about yourself and you're not doing too good in life, remember Luke failed pretty hard, and then went on to become a great Jedi.
You got to fail before you succeed.
Right.
Going back to a question though that I had before that kind of didn't get really answered because you had to go get the. How does it affect your lightsaber? You know, how you kind of view who you are, because you said it's white and you're an electrician. Can you describe a little more about your lightsaber? Because I've got mine.
So I have, since I'm an instructor of lightsaber, I have about 5 lightsabers. Mm-hmm. I carry one on my hip, and that is a replica of the Return of the Jedi Luke saber. It's actually just the Archon version 3.1 from Ultra Sabers.
Okay.
It's just the hilt that I carry on my hip because it looks a lot like I chose that one because it's the Luke saber, but it doesn't have the square box emitter on the side that gets in the way. Mm-hmm. So I like that. So I got that one. I also have 2 key sabers, 2 persuaders. Mm-hmm. I have a crosspoint saber and that is it. I think that's it. And I think in my possession right now, I probably have at least a couple of Bacon Sabers, lightsabers, or blades. I think I just have blades, actually. I have a bunch of blades.
Mark's trying to get me to wear a hip saber.
Hey, a lot of people in the Jedi community wear them. Most people in the Jedi, all day long. They go to work with them on and stuff. I do not because I'm an electrician and I can't have metal things protruding off of my body. So
yeah, definitely that'd be a very bad thing. Yeah,
safety hazard there.
Are all your sabers white or are they different colors?
No. So I also use green sabers to honor who I consider my teacher, Luke Skywalker. That's who I first started following. When I got into Jediism, and that's really who inspired me. And then, Commander Negron and I got together and started doing the school, and he became a mentor of mine. And a few years ago, I got in touch with a few of the Jedi orders around the country who I'm involved with. If I'm not involved with them, I advise for all of them. and I asked, would you guys mind if Commander Negron did the honors of knighting me at a ceremony at Agamacon, which is a comic book convention here. So he knighted me with the blessing of the Jedi community. Actually, he got in touch with the members, not me. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. He got in touch with the members of the Jedi community, asked them for their blessing to knight me. And that's what happened. And he knighted me. And it was, we were already doing like a demonstration at the comic book convention because it was being held in the same building we have class in.
Mhm.
So we just used that as part of like a spectacle kind of thing. But the rest of the time we were teaching and stuff like that. We've gone to a few different places and had like mini classes, or we've done choreography at schools. We've done it at libraries. Commander Negron and I, and a couple of other students have helped here and there. But we try and keep it simple because it is a lot of equipment you got to carry. And the more the equipment there are, the more people are going to want to handle the equipment. So the past few times we've had to just pretty much do show and tell because a lot of kids want to just swing it like a baseball bat.
And difficult, I'm sure, with COVID right now.
Oh yeah, it was 2019, I think, is the last time that we actually went out and did a demonstration or choreography or anything like that, or a mini class. The only thing that we do now is class every Friday, and we tell people that that's a risk. That's a risk we take. The parents are aware of it, and we take every safety precaution under the sun, though. So there's as little risk as possible.
Well, hopefully we get back to normal pretty soon. We're kind of running down on time. Where do people find you? You mentioned the Facebook group and also the page.
We have a Facebook page. If you want to go like and follow us there, and then you can join from the page. You can find the group. And on the page, we kind of just do stylized photos and share basically what we do in class. And then in the group, we share teaching materials. We share all the files for the forms, our kata. We share videos of class. We share the live feeds. We share some memes there in the group. The group is really the place where it's popping. The page is more for advertising. On Facebook, I'm Pola Pop. If you want to send me a friend request.
All right. Well, I have had a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to be adding that group because the Jedi in me is very excited.
Tell the Sith around you they can join too.
Oh yeah. Well,
there he is. I knew he was coming.
Don't encourage him. We're trying to turn him to the light side. I told him I eventually would. I just haven't gotten around to turning him yet. Yeah.
You wish. Got my mini saber.
Did you just build a lightsaber right now?
No.
Yes.
That was
grabbed
amazing.
a hydraulic piece, put a ripper blade on it.
Oh, dude, if that was the most Jedi thing I think I've seen all day. He just made a lightsaber.
He named himself Ezra. So
wow.
I can literally name myself Ezra.
You must be the most powerful Jedi I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Actually, he does build sabers. Yeah.
I probably could build a saber. I've fixed most of the ones that we've. I don't know. Commander Negron could tell you better how many we have. I want to say like 30 sabers we have, maybe. And I probably had my hands in at least half of them. When we finally got smart and stopped messing with Ultra Sabers is when I finally got to pretty much stop working on rebuilding saber innards and stuff like that.
We've had a really amazing episode actually where we called on him last second and he got on.
He told me about that.
Yes, yeah. And he had almost every, I think, lightsaber that he owns up against the wall.
It was so
beautiful.
Pretty.
It was beautiful.
He has them all. He has some of my creation there. He has some of his creation there. Like we bought so many different things, and we put little pieces here and little pieces there, and we make weapons, and we make rules for the weapons. We just so the kids can have something new to do every week,
Very cool. Well, I look forward to hopefully having you on the show again. And everybody join the group. I think you're missing out, especially learning from you and the commander. The commander is so much fun.
And I hope we have a new instructor as well, Nick Palmer. He's been in a few tournaments. He does his own flow a little bit, and hopefully he could be on your show soon too.
Definitely,
hopefully he's watching.
We would love to hear about him. Caden Patrick just commented, which is the organization we talked about earlier.
Rebel Cause Lancaster.
Oh yeah, Rebel Cause.
Rebel Cause Lancaster. Hi, Caden.
No. You got to be specific with it. Rebel Cause Lancaster. Rebel Cause is a completely different thing.
Oh, is it? Okay, Lancaster. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And the Izzy.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. Anytime. I would love to come back anytime. It was a lot of fun.
Ark says thank you for being on the show as well.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Ben.
Alrighty. That was really, really great. Hearing from a Jedi, because my coworkers are they're full of Sith. My coworkers are full of Sith.
Also, I do gotta reiterate here, because if someone from Disney or Lucas is looking at this, look down there. We are not affiliated with Disney or Lucasfilm. It has been on there the entire interview. Do not sue us.
We're just great big fans. Incredible fans. I think I won't date myself. It's been a really long time that I've been a fan.
You dated yourself the other day.
Shh. I was 5, 16 years ago. Anyway, yeah, or give or take. Anyway, so no, I just turned 18. It's just how it is. You and me are the same age.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anyway, this has been really fun. Don't forget to let Van out or Ark out and walk him tonight.
Do I have to? It's your week. It's your turn.
No.
Yeah.
You get to feed him. I get next week.
That's not fair. It was your idea to lock him in the closet. I mean, to send him on vacation.
Wait, this whole operation was your idea.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, maybe we could just leave him for Dawn.
I mean, Dawn's my ride home, so.
Well, you have to still lay him out or something. Like, he has to sleep somewhere tonight.
He'll be fine. He'll pass out in here.
All right, Ezra. I think it's time to go. Maybe we'll let him out next week. Maybe if he's good.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
I'll just kick him back in there. We'll this is our show now.
Yeah. It's the Phoenix and Ezra show now. Welcome to the Phoenix and Ezra show.
No, you mean the Ezra and Phoenix show.
No, the Phoenix and Ezra show.
No, the Ezra and Phoenix show.
And with that, we wish you a very good night.
Bye, everyone.